Hello, gorgeous, radiant being. My name is Horst. I'm a psycho-spiritual advisor and integrative wellness life coach. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about conscious co-creation. So I'm thinking that everybody watching this video is already on the conscious path of healing and choosing a new way of living that's more authentic to their inner nature, to your inner nature, and is basically a resolving of the unconscious conditioning that we've been raised in, and we are choosing to co-create together a new world. This is already happening. It is something that many of us are aware of. What some term as awakening or being woke or waking up is happening all over the world with everyone from different cultures, different socio-demographic backgrounds. Pretty much every demographic has nuances, whether it be the older generations, the younger generations are kind of coming in more awake and aware. This is definitely an evolution of our globe that is occurring. So what that signifies to me is that we get to actively participate in this conscious co-creation, and it is absolutely a co-creation. So I'm here in nature. I kind of wanted to share with you how the harmonizing effects of nature, it's truly remarkable. If we go out in nature and we're somewhere that's really beautiful and we take in the beauty, how nature has given us the gift of harmonizing our energetic space. If we're kind of stressed out or have anxiety and we go out in nature, we can feel harmonized when we are done in nature, or when we've communed with nature. She offers us that gift of harmonizing our energy centers. And how that works is it actually takes our active participation. It's more of a surrendering and allowing, not so much of a active force by any means, but we have to take in the beauty in order to perceive it. We have to receive the gift, the grace, the beauty, the gorgeous elements that nature is offering. So let's say you wanted to harmonize and commune with nature. And communing basically just means sharing, intimately sharing. So you go out in nature, like at this beautiful creek here where I'm at, and you would soak it in. You'd bask in the elementals of the water and in the sun and the green that's all around, and this gorgeous duck and other animals that are in nature. You would be taking in their brilliance and their beauty. You'd be appreciating it. You'd be adoring it. You'd be fond and in reverence and celebration and enjoying the nature. And that is how we receive its harmonizing benefits. We take it in, we receive it, we enjoy it, we appreciate it. So there's an element of our active participation, whether it be to surrender and allow and to really take in and to receive. And that is the same in relationship as well. That in order to get the benefits of soul nourishment that it comes through sacred relationship, which is absolutely a thing, we have to be open to receive. Not only in relationship, it's a very co-creative connection. It's a very exchange. It's give and take. It's receiving as well as offering. So when we express and share our joy and express our joy flow and that which makes our heart sing, and we're expressing it and sharing it with another, and they're delighting in it, that is that sacred exchange that provides the soul nourishment. So what I absolutely thrive on is teaching people how to deepen that sacred exchange. And again, every relationship is really just a mirror, is really a reflection of our own inner state of being and the depth of connection, the depth of intimacy that we share within ourselves. So everything in life is a relationship. Our relationship that we have with Source, Creator, God is a huge, important relationship that's very personal, very intimate for everybody that feels the desire to cultivate that type of connection within themselves with Source, Creator, God. It's very personal, it's very intimate, and it's very deep. And that relationship is also very similar in how we relate to our body and how the relationship that we have with the vessel, our physical sacred vessel that we live this life through. So as consciousness in human form, we exist in human form, embracing all the aspects and really honoring all the components is true embodiment. And what that means to me is having a deep sacred relationship with our vessel, our human form, with our body. And to me, sharing in love and expressing love to ourselves and to our body is one of the most primary components of love that we can offer ourselves. Self-care in taking care of our vessel. That means enough sleep, enough nourishment, vibrant, vital nutrients of raw fruits and veggies and the nuts and seeds and legumes that are very vibrant, alive, life force is flowing through them. So when we take those in, when we nourish our body with them, in adoration, appreciation, and celebration of the life, it nourishes our body. It's like this amazing energy that we get, and we do actually feel energized the more healthy we eat, and the more that we move and have movement, exercise, and take care of our physical vessel, again with enough rest, enough fresh air, enough sunlight, enough nourishment, all kinds of fruits and veggies, and sleep, and all the things. That's how we love ourselves. That's how we nourish ourselves. That's how we nourish ourselves and ourselves. The other component is we have to honor the mental and emotional component. The psychological wellness of our experience is hugely important. If we don't honor our emotional landscape, we're never going to understand what those emotions are sharing with us. Our emotions share with us amazing depths of clarity. So if we honor that through, again, adoration, appreciation, celebration, celebrating, even when it feels challenging, the harder emotions or the harder ones to be present for, the harder ones to appreciate, the challenging ones. We all want to appreciate joy, that feels good, but to appreciate our sadness is a little bit more challenging. So what that means is really sitting in the energy and being present for it and letting the emotion, the challenging emotion, share with us clarity, share with us information, so that we can more readily create a more fulfilling life. If we're not satisfied, if we're not happy, if we're not feeling good in, whether it be a certain relationship, whether it be a certain connection, whether it be, again, our relationship with food, or our body maybe is struggling and we feel bad about that. Instead of feeling bad, what we can do is we can honor that emotion, we can honor the feeling, we can honor the true depth of clarity that's coming from the inner aliveness of our being that's telling us, hey, you're not happy, do something different. And then we can honor that, and we can do something that's more fulfilling, and we can walk towards our joy flow, and we can do the things that really light us up, and we can flow to where we are celebrated and life is promoted and encouraged, and all the things that feel so vibrant and alive and radiant for us will naturally become our day-to-day experience when we honor those emotions. So again, we're honoring the physical through love of our sacred vessel, and we're expressing that love through the actions that we participate in. And then our emotional well-being is often related to our thoughts. Our mental and our emotional is very tied in as the psychological well-being of our experience. So we can honor that space within us by truly acknowledging how we really feel in our authentic space, and then use the thoughts, words, and actions, which is our way to create our conscious contribution. We can become more conscious of the thoughts that we choose to participate in, and the thoughts that we choose to buy into, and the joyful flow, the things that make us feel good and ignite the fiery passion within. Our passionate expression, to honor that, is going to make us feel more fulfilled in life. So the psychological, mental, emotional, physical well-being of our experience has everything to do with the relationship that we cultivate with those components. To recognize the mind and the thinking and the logic as being a brilliant way of our connection with the brilliance of the universe, that which creates and illuminates worlds, we have access to through the brilliance of our mind. There's many people maybe in certain communities or in the spiritual world that discuss how the thinking mind isn't so amazing, and that's understandable to an extent. It cannot be the director of our experience. It's an active participant. If we become conscious of our thoughts that we are choosing, and choose consciously, and align our thoughts with the thoughts that ignite that fiery passion and that honor our joy flow and that make our hearts sing, then we are using that brilliance of the thinking mind for our creative benefit. So we can absolutely use all aspects of this experience if we honor them and recognize its intrinsic, pure, brilliant innocence within this human experience. The sacred, divine, conscious awareness that we are embodying in human form. We have the thinking mind to be able to utilize. We can become more conscious of our thoughts, and again, thoughts, words, and actions is how we create. So primary is thoughts, and they affect our behaviors and they affect how we feel about ourselves. So if we think negative thoughts about ourselves, it's going to be a struggle to actively embody the joy flow. But if we are engaging in the thoughts that are life promoting and life enhancing, life sustaining, it feels good, and then we can consciously embody that with our words and our actions as well. And that is where we integrate all the components of our being to be able to co-create. We are individually creating our inner world on our own, and that's, again, thoughts, words, and actions. Adoration, appreciation, and celebration. If we use those energies, the energies of fond, affection, appreciation, which is really all about taking in and receiving the glory that surrounds us, and then celebrating and enjoying every nuance of this gorgeous, magical life. When we embody that in our thoughts, words, and actions, we literally are embodying the pure joy, love, just the gloriousness of this experience. So, utilizing all aspects of our being to celebrate life is really what conscious creation is all about. And then we get to experience that interaction, that depth of intimacy that we've cultivated, this love that we share within ourselves, our body, our creator, our moment-to-moment experience, the love that we have for every moment that we exist, and every moment that we get to share in this abounding love with each individual nuance of our experience. The more deep our relationship is with our own life, than the depth of our relationships with other people are also going to coincide with that depth. We are going to be able to meet people at a much deeper space. We are going to listen and receive their joy flow, and we're going to have a space for them and their pain. If they're sharing and expressing of their pain, we're going to be able to understand that, and we're not going to judge it. We're going to listen. We're going to be present. Those are the things that when we do it for ourselves, we are then able to, in turn, to offer that and share that with others. And we can share in the depth of love, compassion, acceptance, embracing, adoration, and appreciation. Celebrate. We can appreciate and celebrate the radiance of somebody's being, even when they're sharing with us how they're going through a challenging situation. We're not going to judge who they are based on their challenging situation, which is what we often do when we're confused and we think that somehow life is defined by circumstance. No, circumstance is presenting to us an amazing, glorious reflection of our inner state of being and our embodiment, but it's not defining anything. And so we honor the individual that may be going through a challenging time, and we can love and radiate their divine energy, and that's actually healing to them. So sacred connection is all about the same exact thing I was talking about in nature, where we open up, we receive, we take in, and we actively participate in this connective exchange, this fluid flow of energy. It's part of what Tantra is all about. It's part of what sacred connection, divine communion, anything that you would understand as being the relationship and depth of intimacy and sharing and love. And that, to me, is what life is about, because that's where we are healing through soul nourishment. When you sit and have a deep conversation with somebody that is able to meet you in compassion and presence, you feel that. You feel honored, you feel healed, you feel supported, you feel nourished, and you're ready to take on your day that much more deeply, and that much more with that much more compassion and love. And you can share in that compassion and love much more deeply when somebody's able to share in that compassion and love with you as well. A tender warmth of compassion is absolutely everything that feels good to us. And that's what we want to share. And then the more we share it with ourselves, the more it naturally exudes and overflows to everyone that we share in life with. And that sacred divine communion and connection is literally what is changing the world. One individual within ourselves at a time will change the relationship, how we relate to our body, to our mind, to our soul, to our emotional well-being, how we relate to the earth, how we relate to nature, how we relate to everything surrounding us, and that overflows to how we relate to one another, sharing in love, appreciation, enjoyment, adoration, celebration, all the words that I love, because it is so important to feel that vibrant energy that exists within us. It's alive, it's pulsating, it's spontaneous, it's fluid, it's this alive primal energy that exists within us all. It's this wild, captivating, passionate experience that really makes us light up, and that's what gives us fulfillment in life. And when we share in that with others, we are literally healing the world. So I feel the most important component of deepening our connections with others, which creates, again, this very soul nourishing energy where we feel alive and vibrant, and it's like we feed off each other's energies, where it's every energy is expanding, no energy is being taken away from, but both parties are feeling that aliveness. It's sharing in the celebration, sharing in the vibrance of this gorgeous, radiant experience. That is the epitome of what we all are yearning for on the innermost part of our heart, is like really wanting to feel that alive connection, connected to everything. We want to feel sensually in tune and energetically connected and passionate about every moment of our life. And we can feel that within ourselves, by individually, with how we connect to life in general and ourselves, and then we will automatically, that will naturally exude to how we experience and enjoy and appreciate relationships. Relationships are very challenging in that it offers a lot of challenge, and when we see the mirror of connection, there's a lot that can come to the surface. Just like now with the this lockdown and the virus and everything seems to be heightened, the energies are tense. For a lot of people, there's more pressure. It feels more challenging. The pressure may continue because really what we have to do is get to that space where we're honoring all that surfaces with unconditional compassion, with total love. Judgment, condemnation, competition, any sort of trying to get rid of the energy is not going to be helpful. You have to embrace it with compassion, and that's what transmutes it. And so relationships being challenging, and that there's two individuals now that are working on their own conscious path. They're working on their own how to love themselves, how to truly thrive in the energy of adoration, appreciation, and celebration, not only individually but together. And then any sort of baggage or past history or confusion or buying into stories and identifying with certain pain is going to come and take its place in the relationship. Anybody that we interact with on a deep personal level, we are going to experience some of that which they're sharing, which can be pain, it can be the hard stuff, it can be confusion and identifying with that which doesn't feel good. But again, self-mastery will give us, any relationship we have the opportunity to master self even greater. If somebody is triggering us, if somebody is difficult to deal with, that gives us more awareness about ourselves in order to create the space to be able to honor them in their entirety, while still honoring ourselves in our entirety. And so relationship is the most amazing facet to really be on the fast trajectory to healing, to be expanding and healing and coming to know the purity of our being even more readily through relationship and healing. It's just one of the most remarkable things to me. And all the relationships that we have serve the same experience that life gives us, the challenges, so that we know how strong we really are. And we can come to know the depth of our being through how we overcome the challenges. So today, maybe you can go ahead and think about the depth of your relationships. If it's that soul nourishing type of connections that feels so good on every level of your being. And if not, that means that we need to focus on the inside. We really need to work on creating a depth of intimacy within ourselves, because that is what overflows to everyone surrounding us. That's how we cultivate relationships that are deep, is to have a deep relationship with ourselves. It'll organically and naturally overflow. It's just like the love that we have for ourselves will naturally overflow to the love that we share with everyone around us. Organically, it doesn't have to be forced, it doesn't have to be efforted, it's a natural progression. When we have self-love, when we offer and express self-love to our body, mind, spirit, to our connection with Source, God, energy, the universe, whatever you want to call it, when you have a connection that's deep with life and with each now moment, that is where the depth of connection and intimacy is built, cultivated, and sustained, is within ourselves. I love you so much, and I hope you have an amazing, glorious day where you enjoy each and every moment with adoration and so much appreciation.